Kia ora guys, my name is Alex Telford and today I'm going to be demonstrating a new script that I've created. This one here is the Trim Curves utility. So this here replicates the Clip Curves brush from ZBrush in Blender. So I'm going to go through and show you a few of its features, and it is to be aware that this is still a very fresh script. There is a lot of bugs. It is likely to crash Blender at this stage, but it's fun and it does what I need it to do. So I figured I'd demonstrate this so you might have an idea of what this does. So what we do is we select an object, we select an axis such as X. I could just turn off that manipulator for now. All these axes are based on the view direction, and what we can do is we can come in and draw a line, set our depth to something like 100 and 100 and trim, and it will trim it like that. So let's just jump out of sculpt mode, undo that, clear this. So you might have noticed down the bottom there it has a return mode, so you can if you're sculpting, because I made this for dynamic topology, you can have it return you directly to sculpt mode, so you can just so it doesn't break your flow. And that one there trimmed off. We can go the other way, like so. We can go based off the 3D cursor. So if I just undo this, clear, let's go 3D cursor, and we place our cursor out to the side somewhere. It'll cast rays at our grease pencil here. Something like this. Trim, and there we go. Okay, so that's great. Now the other option is we do have a cyclic option. So if I enable cyclic, I can draw a circle. We can click Trim Curve, and we can drill a hole directly through our model. If we undo that and we go the other way, this will create a cylinder based on our model, like so. We can specify a curve, so if I come in here and we grab a Bezier curve, rotate this out here, we can now specify this curve in here, and let's say I wanted to cut out the side there. We can come through, check cyclic. If you don't check cyclic, it will use the trim axis, so checking cyclic disables that. Just like our angle here doesn't work unless we have angle enabled. Make sure we've got the right object selected and click trim. And it comes up with a no strokes found. And this is because I have it still set to grease pencil. We did change this over to curve to make sure that it uses a curve there. And click trim curve. And you can see that it's trimmed. Now it's only trimmed a little bit, which means that we need to increase this depth. I'm currently unsure of how to get this depth consistent, but I will work on that. So if we put this up quite a bit, and we go depth spacing, just so we don't end up with a lot of detail there. Change that back to curve, trim curve, there we go. So you can see the geometry it leaves us is not very nice. Changing the division spacing here can improve this. I'll just go move this over a bit, change this down to something like 50. Or maybe even 100. Trim. Okay, so for this one here, because it's trimming the wrong direction, what we can do is we can just tab into edit mode and switch direction. Trim. There we go. Nope, still didn't do it. Let's go 100. Let's go division spacing of 1. There we go. Okay, so you can see that we can, using the division spacing, we can create more detail in here. Around the edges it's horrible, but as I said, this is made for dynamic topology. So I'm sure there'll be a few uses for this. My real goal of creating this is because I would love to see this installed as an actual brush in Blender, similar to how ZBrush has the Clip Curves brush. Unfortunately, I don't know anything about this Python for the sculpting system, so this is my interpretation. If there's any sculpting developers, I would love for you guys to come along and go ahead and take this to that next level. So yeah, that's all for this. My name is Alex Telford. Have a nice day.